Hi everyone, and welcome to the informational webinar for the request for proposals entitled Creating Culturally Responsive Services for Indigenous, African, Caribbean, Black, and Racialized Survivors of Homicide Victims. My name is Dr. Khellon Roach, and I am the Assistant Director of the Center for Research and Innovation for Black Survivors of Homicide Victims, commonly referred to as the CRIB. We are based out of the University of Toronto's Factor Inventage Faculty of Social Work. We at the CRIB are extremely excited about this request for proposals as we continue to partner with you, our community-based organizations, to make a real impact and difference in the lives of the persons we have been created to serve. Having said that, let's take a look now at the main topics we would endeavor to cover in this information webinar. Firstly, we would learn all about the RFP. That is to say, we would review the goals, the priorities, the eligibility requirements, the funds available, and the anticipated timeline. Secondly, we would do a walkthrough of the application process and cover everything from preparation of the application, submission of the application, and how the proposals would be evaluated. Finally, we would take a look at some of our frequently asked questions and inform you how to get in contact with us should you have any further questions. So without further ado, let's jump right into it and learn about this RFP. This request for proposals will aim to achieve two goals. The first goal is to address gaps in knowledge and/or service provision among service providers serving Indigenous, African, Caribbean, and Black and racialized survivors of homicide victims. The second goal is to support the provision of mental health services for Indigenous, African, Caribbean, and Black and racialized survivors of homicide victims. This request for proposals will support projects that apply the knowledge and insight obtained at the Knowledge Exchange Forum and the Public Policy Forum, which were both held in April 2021. The award must also benefit one or more of the groups identified in the RFP, that is, Indigenous, African, Caribbean, and Black or racialized, and finally, the award must be used for the benefit of Indigenous, African, Caribbean, Black, and racialized survivors of homicide victims in need of services designed to support them in the management of their grief and bereavement and in coping with the murder of a loved one. Let's take a look now at the eligibility requirements. The first is that you must have attended both forums held in April. The second criteria is that your organization must provide service to one or more of the populations identified. The third criteria is that your organization must be based in Ontario and more specifically in one of the following cities: Brantford, Ottawa, Thunder Bay, Toronto, or Windsor. The fourth criteria is that your organization must be committed to at least one of the following areas, including social justice and human rights, anti-oppression and anti-racism, social determinants of health and health equity, trauma-informed practice, cultural safety, intersectionality, or gender-based analysis plus. The total funding available for the RFP is 75,000 Canadian dollars. We envision that we will be able to award 3 organizations, with each project having a ceiling of $25,000 each. In addition, projects should run for approximately 1 year or 12 months. Please pay close attention to the timelines outlined in the RFP. Of course, we would have disseminated the RFP on June 14th, and today, June 25th, you would have received this information webinar. Going forward, we would accept questions up until July 16th, and July 30th is the application deadline. Please note that we would not accept late submissions, and so we would really encourage you to submit your proposal early to avoid disappointment. Once the RFP is closed, the evaluation committee would meet and have a decision by August 16th, and so the CRIB should be able to announce the awards by August 20th. We anticipate that project teams would be able to start their projects by November 1, and in terms of reporting, project leads will be expected to do a midterm report after 6 months, and at the end of 12 months, of course, the final report will become due. There are several steps to be taken to submit your proposal. Let's now take a walk through the application process. As it relates to the preparation of your application, please ensure that you use the proposal template for applicants which accompany the RFP. This is extremely important. It has been created to ensure that there is consistency in the proposals we receive, and it also simplifies the process for you. Please also be sure to adhere to the word limits. For example, the abstract should not be more than 250 words. The goals and objectives, no more than 250 words. Statement of need, 300 words max, and so on. Once you have completed all of the sections of the proposal template for applicants, please PDF your proposal and submit as one document, not multiple documents, one document. In addition to preparing your proposal, you are also required to submit a few supporting documents. These include your 2 certificates, one from the Knowledge Exchange Forum and one from the Public Policy Forum, your project deliverables and milestones, your budget, and 2 letters of reference. You can choose to submit these documents separately, or you can also attach it to your proposal and submit as one complete document. Submitting your application is very simple. You email your proposal with the supporting documents to the email address khellon.roach@utoronto.ca to the attention of Dr. Khellon Roach, subject line of the RFP. Again, please ensure that you submit your application by the application deadline to avoid disappointment, July 30th, 2021 by 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When preparing your proposal, we ask you to pay close attention to the evaluation criteria which would be used by the evaluation committee. Pay close attention to the weighting of each criteria. Notice that project innovation carries the most weight at 30%. Here, we are really looking for creativity in how you would utilize the knowledge you receive from our forums to respond to the needs of the groups identified. Technical quality and creativity in stakeholder engagement both carry 25%. In technical quality, we are looking for clarity of goals and objectives, suitability of methods, and the appropriateness of funding amount requested and the project timeline. In creativity and stakeholder engagement, we are looking for creative approaches you will use to share and disseminate information to enhance awareness. And anticipated project impact and experience and qualifications both carry 10%. For impact, we are looking for the potential output and the volume of stakeholders you would reach. And of course, for experience and qualifications, we are looking for the qualifications and experience of the project team. Let's move on now to the final section of this information session. Let's look at some of the frequently asked questions. The first question is it possible to have a phone call with the CRIB about the CFP? And the answer is, unfortunately not. This is to ensure fairness, transparency, and consistency, and to ensure that all potential applicants have access to the same information at the same time. When can applicants expect to receive results of the call? It is anticipated that the Evaluation Committee will reach a decision by August 16, 2021, and the CRIB will consequently be able to make the announcement of awards by August 20th, 2021. I attended the Knowledge Exchange Forum, but I did not attend the Public Policy Forum. Can I still apply? Unfortunately not. This RFP is open only to agencies that attended both forums. Can my organization submit more than one application, since we have locations based in more than one of the eligible cities in Ontario? The answer is no. Each organization is permitted to submit only one application. Please also be reminded that your organization must be based in one of the 5 cities in Ontario: Brantford, Ottawa, Thunder Bay, Toronto, or Windsor. My organization does not operate in any of the 5 cities identified in the eligibility criteria. However, I would like to partner with an organization which does operate in one of the 5 cities identified. Would I be eligible? Please note that the principal applicant must be based in one of the 5 cities identified. However, principal applicants are permitted to collaborate with other organizations, whether they are based in one of the 5 cities or not. Is the proposal template for applicants mandatory? The simple answer is yes, absolutely. Please use the proposal template which was disseminated with the RFP. How many projects will be funded through this RFP? We anticipate that we would be able to fund at least 3 projects, and so 3 community-based organizations should benefit from this call. And finally, does my project have to run for 12 months? Well, the reason why we ask potential applicants to spread their project milestones and deliverables over a 12-month period is because we believe that this approach will allow for as much time as possible for knowledge transfer, information dissemination, and stakeholder engagement. If you still have questions, please feel free to send in your questions to khellon.roach@utoronto.ca. You have until July 16th, 2021 at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to submit your questions. This concludes our information webinar for today. Thank you so much for watching. We hope that you found it useful, and we look forward to receiving your proposals as we continue to do this important work for communities together. Thank you once again for watching.